This is your first top priority workout for the month. Make sure this workout happens every week, no matter what. We're going to start with our first circuit, primarily focusing on your core muscles. Get your big physio ball, position your elbows on the ball, and we're going to try to pick your knees up off the floor and hold a nice solid plank position on that ball. Make sure you breathe fully and deep throughout the whole movement. Next, lay on the floor on your back. We're going to tuck your tail under so you feel your back connected to the floor. And with your knees slightly bent, we're going to lower opposites down to the floor without letting your low back come up off the floor. It's going to take your low, deep core muscles to keep that connection. Continue lowering opposites throughout the time. We're going to go straight to some elevated push-ups where you try to do your elevated push-ups with one foot held up off the floor. Keep your hips level even though you have one foot off the floor, always bringing your chest down in between your hands with your elbows angled out at a 45-degree angle. Your fourth exercise in this circuit is a reverse lunge where we'll maintain balance at the top and see if we can add a knee drive. Step back and down into your lunge and then drive that knee up strong at the top. Once that circuit is totally completed, we'll begin the second circuit. Take a large dumbbell, hold it at your chest so it's actually touching right at the base of your neck. Sit down deep so that your elbows just about graze your knees. Make sure you're sitting back and far into your hips. Our next position, we're going to set up for some split squats. Go ahead and hang your weights at your side. We're going to sink all the way down into your split squat and then press all the way back up straight. Make sure your front knee travels straight forward as you go through the motion and that you're not collapsing through your shoulders or your torso. As soon as your split squats are completed, we have kind of a challenging exercise. We're going to do a single leg deadlift and then add an arm press, an overhead press with it. So if your left foot is down, hold the dumbbell in the opposite hand, hinge at your hips to bend over into a T position, stand up, and then press the weights overhead. Let's switch sides, doing that single leg deadlift and pressing overhead. Make sure no matter what that as you press overhead, as you stand back up straight, you don't arch your back. We're going to finish this circuit with some single arm rows. Get into your bent over position and row firmly and strongly with one arm. Make sure you're pulling the entire shoulder back with you. So that's your second circuit. When that's totally completed, you could stop there or you could add on this optional metabolic finisher. We'll start the finisher with 4 squats to press. Dumbbells are up on your shoulders. You're going to squat down, keeping a nice strong squat position. As you stand up, push the weights overhead. 4 of those, then go right into 4 hang pulls. A hang pull is more of a deadlift where you hinge forward, stand up powerfully, and yank the dumbbells up to the fronts of your shoulders. Next, set the weights aside and we'll do 4 squat jumps, so not very many of these. Make sure your knees are staying open and wide. As soon as those are finished, we're going to do burpees. We can either do 4 regular burpees as shown here, or we can modify them where you just stand up with each burpee, or we can modify them even further where you just take one foot and tap it behind you. And you do that circuit a few times through and you're